Fired up, folks. This is BEG Wrestling, and we are here live. We got a lot to cover here tonight, folks. Listen, a little tweak in the schedule. We had some scheduling conflicts this week. We'll be back later Friday night, possibly Saturday night, live with my dad. But we're here live tonight with Kevin, and we're back Thursday live with Kevin and some big interviews. But, folks, tonight, first and foremost, it's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all veterans out there, and thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that you've done for this country. Tonight, Kevin, we're going to be covering the new Penn State lineup. Confirmed. You were a little early on it. We're going to be talking about that. Iowa got some big recruit commitments. Going through our Bill Farrell takeaways. And then we have the National Duels Invitational coming up this weekend. Questions, comments, folks, we're live, so join in the comments. We'll put them up on the screen. Link to call in as well. And then, folks, tonight at 8 o'clock, another claw. I believe is a semifinal duel tonight. Hammers and Cicadas, I believe. So,
yeah,
talking about that. But, folks, we're live. Kevin, thanks for joining me. How you doing?
Good, man. Hanging in there, man. You?
Hey, we're good, man. Wrestling is firing off, dude. Updates for Iowa folk last night, dude. Iowa, we're celebrating as Iowa fans last night, but Kevin, why don't we dive right into it, man, because I'm going to put up on the screen your graphic here, the Penn State wrestling, and then the Kale presser today that I'm going to touch on, but go ahead and give us the official announcement here of the starters.
Yeah, man. So I got an inside scoop yesterday in the morning that Nagawa was going to be starting, Davis was going to be redshirting, Kazak was redshirting, and Duke was starting. So I posted it because I was confident in my source, and of course I got a few people that were like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I love to see his source, but in the presser today, Kale did, in his very Kale way, confirmed, he kind of skipped around it. He said, I think his exact words were, as far as Kazak, Kazak's a good example that there's a good chance he's going to redshirt. I don't think it's a secret because he wrestled at the Farrell, but it's tough to redshirt a guy like that. And then with Nagao, he said, we obviously got Nagao at 141. He goes, we got Davis is moving up. He goes, we got to play with some red shirts, and if you have them, you use them, but if you don't have them, then you're wrestling, which Nagao does not have a red shirt. Davis does, so
Okay.
take that for what it's worth. And then he flat out said that Ono's going to redshirt this year. And then he went right into talking about Blaze. So Blaze starting, and then he said Josh Barr has got a rib injury, but it's not as bad as, it's a short-term injury, he was saying. It's not something that's going to go throughout the whole season. But rib injuries can be a pain for sure. And then he discussed briefly about Cochran moving up to heavyweight to challenge Marisola for the heavyweight spot. So,
yeah.
Right now, with that, we pretty much got a really good feel on what the lineup is. If you go Lilladal, Blaze, Nagao, Van Ness, Duke, Mitchell, Haynes, Welsh, Barr, and then the Marisola Cochran winner, which I imagine that would still be Cole, but who knows?
No, it's good. And Kevin, I put up your tweet on X there. Folks, follow him at Cornell_Kevin S there. And basically confirming everything that we found out that we were all wondering for Penn State, the lineup. Ono redshirting, Blaze starting, Davis redshirting, Nagao starting, Kazak redshirting, Duke starting. I'm excited for Duke, man. Ono redshirting, is that surprising? I really wanted to see him out there potentially up against Mendez this year. And then the Barr injury short term, that's good. But now that we know, Kevin, we can start stacking lineups to face off in these dual meets, which Penn State, again, will not be at this weekend, which I don't know if you had a chance to see it. Tom Ryan, Ohio State head coach, took a shot at Kale just earlier today.
I didn't see that.
And said, it's just very unfortunate. We're all here trying to grow the sport, and Penn State decides not to do that. Shows a lot about them or something. But I thought that was interesting. Tom Ryan taking a shot at Kale. And, hey, And while we're on the topic, man, I mean, David Taylor's doing some crazy stuff in Oklahoma State. We'll get into it more, but
Wow.
hey, I
Yeah.
mean, any big surprises here with the Penn State lineup, Kevin? Before
I think it's just it's really tough to. I mean, some people. If a gun to the head, I would have said probably. Actually, you know what? I think I would have said Davis at 41. I mean, Ono's too small to go 41. He was considering going 57 kilograms, which is 125 and a half pounds at the Farrell. So I mean, you think he's just he would still do well at 41. Don't get me wrong, but it's not his ideal weight. He's a 33. Um, but Duke, I guess I was a little bit surprised because Duke wrestled in 3 world championships, and it seemed to me as if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna have Kazak, especially a guy that was favored to win the weight last year, would probably be the favorite this year. He pinned Antrell Taylor in the finals, or not the finals, but the Big Ten tournament. But then once we heard about Kazak going to Bill Farrell, then that threw that all out the window. So, not a whole lot after that. I'd say maybe 41. I know a lot of Penn State fans are frustrated with Nagao starting. Um, I've seen that in the tweets, in the comments underneath. They think now we're not going to break the scoring record, da 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 da. And Nagao's an All-American. He actually started out at 141 in his college career. When his redshirt year, he was 141. Apparently, the coaches see something in him that made them feel comfortable with him starting this year. So who knows? Maybe he improved. I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess.
yeah, I would say maybe Nagao this is the only biggest surprise there, but and then is PJ Duke getting what do they call it, the kale treatment, where throw him out there to
The
make sure he
kale
gets
tax.
the kale
The kale
tax.
tax. What he did to Zane. I'll tell
Yeah,
you what, man. Now, keep this in mind. PJ Duke, in his life, has lost 2 folk-style matches. One was his freshman year, and it was an injury default to Kazak. So it wasn't even a match that he lost, wrestling the whole thing. And then his 8th grade year at the Super 32 finals, the high school division, as an 8th grader, he lost by a point to Caden Horwath, 4-3, who was a junior at the time. So those are his folk style losses. The kid doesn't lose. Being a New York guy, like I said, I watched him never have a match in the state tournament last 6 minutes, which is insane. Four years there, never. So he's, if you're doing predictions, that's probably your favorite to win 157 right now.
yeah. Well, no, listen, PJ Duke, one of the most intriguing wrestlers I'm excited to watch this year. So I am very happy to see him in the lineup. Kevin Barr in the comments, if Nagao can return to his AA form, he can ride anyone. Yeah, I mean, Nagao's going to be your wild card. I mean, if you're going stock up, stock down, maybe technically this would be a little bump down for Penn State fans, like you mentioned. Maybe a missed opportunity to have the greatest team of all time, you could argue, but maybe not, dude. We don't know. We'll have to see on Nagao, but you did
Yeah.
mention
Go ahead.
Kazak at the Bill Farrell. Why don't you wrap up the Penn State, because I got the Bill Farrell results I'm going to put up here, and then we can touch on
Yeah,
that quickly.
absolutely. Real quick with the Penn State scoring record, even with 141 like that, say he's around a 12, around a 16 guy. I was just looking at their lineup right now, and they could have 7 finalists, 6 champs, and it's not going to be mind blowing. When you go through their lineup, you figure the hardest weights will be 184, 141, and heavyweight. But besides that, there's not one of those guys that you can say cannot win a championship this year. So they're going to be right up there around the 170s, 180s. But anyway, yeah, the Farrell, there was some interesting things going on there. I don't know if you saw the Peyton Robb getting punched in the face, and
Wow, some
it was,
fireworks, dude, at the Bill Farrell, dude. And we
yeah,
kind of hinted that there could be some fireworks at this event last week, but yeah, you mentioned that. I mean, Bo Bassett taking out Bartlett. I thought that was
destroying him.
interesting. You mentioned Kazak over Ian Parker. Ian Parker, a claw wrestler. Yeah, that was
Yeah, it's
interesting.
tough.
Yeah, I mean, what were some of your highlights there? How about Keckeisen getting decked by Marcus Coleman, dude?
Oh,
Bang!
dude, 9-0, and he's going for the gut to tech him, and he just got stepped over, and that's rough, man. Can you imagine something like that happening in Final X? Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
just
that's
brutal.
yeah.
But
That was
yeah, he got two, and the thing is it wasn't like it was his first gut attempt. He got two guts before that, and then just got stuck, man. That's rough, but it was funny because I was commenting on Brain in the Bosch in the Brain about Peyton Robb getting decked in the face, and he was right behind Willie. So Willie's like, "Oh, look, you got punched in the face." So he came on camera and he showed the picture of his eye, and he kind of just stood there. Then he goes, "It's funny because I thought he kind of deserved it, man. He was smashing the guy's head. I didn't say anything, and then he's like, "Yeah, I might have deserved that one. I was kind of smashing his head."
yeah. I mean, Infrarest there says that punch went viral on him for on two platforms.
Yeah,
But
he's right.
that Mason Paris reminded us all what a man looks like, didn't he? Up against Kobe Merrill
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Uh,
Cardenas had to go two weights because there was just 92 kilograms. So piss poor in so many tournaments. Like the thing is with the Farrell. Do you remember when the Farrell was? I remember watching Spencer Lee versus Vito, and then it was right after Vito beat Soriano, and then I remember Jordan Oliver, Yanni, Joey McKenna, all bunched up in 65. Like it was just so badass, and now it's just a shell of itself, which is
yeah.
a shame to see.
No. I don't know if we mentioned DeSanto. DeSanto winning there. He's a madman, dude, isn't he?
Oh,
Austin DeSanto.
yeah, he
He's just
got
yelling at
he
people,
yelled.
dude.
Yeah,
What?
he yelled, "You're not American." He yells, "You're not American," and then he points to the coaches and he goes, "He's not even American," or something like that. And the coaches are like, "Shut up!" But dude, I
So,
usually kind of back his craziness, but that was just kind of ignorant. But it just goes to show that he's kind of a loose cannon, and you get what you get with him, really.
if I'm Tom Brands, I give him the old Terrell Owens treatment back the old when he was with the Cowboys. Terrell Owens, a wide receiver. You remember that? Didn't
Yeah.
Jerry
Oh
Jones
yeah.
hired a guy to just follow him at all times to make sure he didn't get in trouble? Like
Yeah. That'd be
Brands
a
needs to
heck of
be
a job to do with DeSanto. Like I was talking to Terry, um, Hawkeye Terry there about him the other night. I was like, you were like, can you imagine if he didn't have wrestling? What he would be, the trouble he would be getting into, or just like who knows where that kid would be at this point without wrestling.
Well, he certainly found a good alternative to express all that energy
Yeah.
into because yeah, he ended up winning. But man, the Bassett over Bartlett, dude, did that surprise you, dude? That kind of surprised me. I guess this the end of
Yeah.
Bartlett wrestling, really? And then I saw maybe Bartlett was joking around about going to train at Iowa now.
He's got to try something. I don't think he's gonna be going back to Happy Valley anytime soon. And he what did he beat Bassett 1-0 last time, and now he gets teched. And I'll tell you what, man, Bassett,
Grinder.
I've had my doubts, but man, he's just a machine. He just keeps going and going. So
I think we're
I'm
making
done
him.
doubting.
I think he's getting a little ticked off at us doubting him all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
But
I'll tell you
Bassett,
what, man. The Bassett cult got ticked off at me. I posted something one time, and I'll never make that mistake again. Oh man, I just got people hated me. I think I mean just hated me on X. It was pretty funny. They were saying
Cornell
all sorts of really
underscore
nice
Kevin
things.
S on X, folks, dude. He put some viral stuff up out there. But hey, that was it for Bill Farrell. Any final thoughts? Because we got the National Duels Invitational. I got the bracket up there. It's kind of hard to see, but I can zoom in or something. But shout out Barn Session here on X, Twitter. If we see good tweets, dude, keep them coming. I like them. I'll screenshot and put them up here. Some of his first round matchups that he's looking forward to this weekend. Kevin, I don't know if you have a chance to see that. The
Yeah,
number
I can
one
see it
wrestler,
right now.
man. I'm just gonna briefly mention that I'm looking forward to watching is obviously Angelo Ferrari, dude. I want to see him in these big dog matchups. I believe didn't Chael Sonnen said he's gonna get beat by Max. I believe Chael said he's gonna be not so
He said he's
fast.
gonna get Yeah, he said he's gonna get beat by Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He said if he wrestled McAnally, he wasn't ready for
Said
him yet. He said he wasn't
McAnally is
strong.
built like a man. And whoa, dude, are you kidding? Okay, okay, dude. I'll take that
Yeah.
bet, Chael. If you're out there, dude, I'll put that. Let's go side bet on that,
Uh,
dude.
uh,
I'll take Angelo.
I'll tell you what, man. The match with Sinclair is going to be a good one because Ben Askren, is like a mentor with him. He was talking about different strategies that they were talking about on the phone and stuff, and he's just saying how smart Sinclair is, and Sinclair beat McAnally in that U20 World Team Trial. He beat him one of the matches and almost had him. He had him dead to rights the second match. He's that caliber of a wrestler. It's going to be an outstanding match for sure. Right off the bat, I love it, and that's what this tournament brings you: is matches like this that we're not going to see otherwise, especially this early in the season. I mean, we had CKLV before, but that was it. Nothing like this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And there's as you go down the list here. I mean, wow! Look, of Simon Ruiz and Facundo, that's a really good match. That's a good test for Ruiz and see where Facundo's at.
No, I agree. Listen, and we'll be back again Thursday night live, folks, to be hopefully we get another Claw superstar to join us live. We're working on that. And along with what we'll really dive into some of our matchups that we're looking forward to. But Not a Wrestling says Chael was trying to motivate Angelo, in my opinion. So
He might be. Yeah, he's probably right. He's probably right, man. Because he's really close with the Ferraris there, and that's probably Angelo he's so tough, man. His defense is so tough. I'm excited to see him in a full schedule this year. See what he does.
that AJ also potential big matchup. Number 7 Nathan Taylor this weekend could be Angelo's first big test, I guess, at heavyweight. Right off the top of your head, does he have any other potential big matchups?
Well, I mean, Nebraska should go far. I mean, they should make the finals, I think. So, I mean, if he could have Keeter in the final, who do you have in the semis possibly there? Uh,
I can't even see.
Ohio
It's too.
State. Ohio State. So Feldman and Keeter. The thing is like I know a lot of people are
Ooh,
saying, you know what, Ferrari's still he might not be big enough, but dude, all the heavyweights, the good ones, are tweeners right now. You go right down the thing. Isaac Trumbull, Feldman, Keeter, uh, AJ. They're all like, you know, that 240 range. Younger Bastida. These guys were all 197 at one point. Um, Wyatt Volker. There's not a lot of big heavyweights. So, most of them graduated last year. So
no, I agree. We talked about it before. Yeah, a lot of mid-size. AJ might be the strongest, definitely one of the strongest heavyweights, and we have some of his matchups coming up. Like I said,
and
folks, we'll dive really into it Thursday night. But go ahead, Kevin.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's another thing too with AJ is I know a lot of people weren't impressed with his 4-0 victory, but here's something you got to or not understand about AJ is domination always isn't like what David Taylor used to do. You can dominate people like Kyle Dake did, where Kyle Dake just didn't allow any points ever. He went through a couple NCAA tournaments allowing 1 point. That's what you get with AJ. AJ's going to a 4-0 win, but was there ever any question was there any ever hope of his opponent scoring a point? No. That's just how he wrestles. He's never going to light up the scoreboard. You're not going to want him on fantasy for bonus points or anything, but he's going to probably get taken down a couple times all year like he did last year. That's the way he wrestles.
Yeah. Well, no. That along with that Swiderski coming off a loss this weekend, some big matchups again, folks. We'll talk about it more on Thursday night. And I think we're coming back Friday night. Me and my dad coming back Friday night live and potentially Saturday night as well. Some tweaks in the schedule I mentioned earlier. But Kevin, then there was Iowa had some commitments dropped, dude. I don't have the official list. I got Flo's. We got the 2026 recent commitments list up here. And then I also have 2027. But Iowa got like 5 big dogs, dude. Was it
It
the
was
same
crazy.
night?
Yeah, it was crazy. They were supposed to just get the two, right? Well, I mean, not supposed to, but the two were supposed to commit. So then Willie says he wants to talk to the brothers. So the brothers get in the chair, and then they both are they're talking, and all of a sudden it's like they're basically saying they're going to Iowa, and then he's like, "Wait, you guys going to Iowa?" And they're like, "Yeah," which was crazy, you know. And then they get the fifth commitment jumping in, but Iowa needed that badly. They needed to have a night like that. And listen, for all the Penn State fans out there that the comments, well, they're excited for what, second or third place or worse. Listen, they can still be excited about things. Nobody here is saying that Penn State is not the best team in the country. And it will be the same thing when the national duels takes place. When the winner wins, there's going to be some people that'll go, "Oh, they're wrestling for the second best team in the country." Listen, nobody's questioning that right now, but we can still have good wrestling. We can still have teams being happy with the recruits they got. And this was a big hit for Iowa. Absolutely a huge hit and something they can build on. And they really needed because as Terry will tell you, they lost the Rainies. They had the Rainies. They lost them, and we all kind of thought that Drayshawn Ross was going to go there. Lost him. And then obviously the Bo Bassett, Melvin Miller. These are hits that it wasn't looking good for a while at all.
Yeah, and you mentioned Hawkeye Terry. Folks, we're working on getting him in this week to really break down these recruits to a
Yeah.
whole nother level. Some technical difficulties getting him in tonight. Terry, if you're out there, dude, the link in the comments. But yeah, we're really gonna break down. But yeah, Kevin, how great was this for the sport? It was looking loom and doom for Iowa there for a while. You know what I mean? Like David Taylor's getting to Penn State's getting him. Iowa's the third
Yeah.
wheel getting left out, and all of a sudden, bang, dude, 5-5, and yeah, totally changes the outlook. Optimism.
Yeah.
You just need hope. You need hope, and this gives Iowa a lot of hope. And
Yeah, and when they're like magnets, man. Like once you get a few of those guys, boom, more of them, more start coming. And they've had to go. It's not that they haven't been trying to get these recruits; they just have not been getting them. So then they have to go to the transfer portal, and that's just the way it is. And that hasn't necessarily worked out extremely well for them. So but yeah, when we'll get Terry on and he'll be able to break everything down a lot better with the Iowa recruits. But I know that I was happy for him and happy for Iowa. I like seeing it spread around, I like seeing Virginia Tech getting people. It's just really good. And plus, I don't want to see any more guys sitting the bench on one of these teams because they are already like got two top 10 guys at the weight at the team. I want to see these guys being able to wrestle and these other teams getting a chance to develop them.
Yeah, no, I agree. Stock way up for Iowa, folks. We'll dive more into that in the future, but yeah, I agree, man. The Virginia Techs coming up, that's cool. That's fun to see, dude. You see a lot of Virginia Tech up here as well, but okay, Kevin, you ready to get into your high demand stock here?
Yeah,
Kevin,
absolutely, man.
So Iowa's a buy. Stock's up on Iowa. I guess Penn State's a slight down. Stock slight down with Nagao. Now we'll see. We'll see. And Oklahoma State stock way up right now. I wanted to, before we get into your high demand stock, I just got to show real quick, dude. I mean, look at this. Look at the party going on in Oklahoma State, folks. I mean, dude, that Bud Crawford walked them out, dude. There's banana people in the stands. There's the fake Cowboys shooting the fake gun, dude. It is a little different in Oklahoma State nowadays, isn't it, dude? I'll get into it more this week, but the culture, you can see exactly what David Taylor's going for. It's a way different culture in Oklahoma State. Different feel at a wrestling match there than it even feels like in Iowa or especially Penn State, right?
Yeah, man. When recruits are seeing this and they're seeing the atmosphere, and it's like they're going to want to be a part of that, They're going to look at this and they're going to say, "Wow, I want to be a part of this party." And I don't know if you saw the Christian Piles post, he's interviewing some fans and stuff. And some of the kids are so well articulated. It was so strange that they were interviewing. I'm like, is this scripted? But they all were just having a fun time, man. And some of them didn't even know about wrestling. They were just there. And you see this, and what are you going to rather have, that or a place where the crowd is just whispering and
All
not,
the front
I
row
mean,
seats at Penn State that have been sold out for the next decade of old people, dude. No offense, but they don't exactly get loud. Versus the banana people, there
yeah.
was also tailgating, pre-duel tailgating. I mean,
Yeah,
come
man,
on,
he's
dude.
changing the culture. He's changing the culture. He's got that, mimicking of Cal in him, but then he's got the wild side that Cal just doesn't go for, and he knows exactly what he wants. And I'll tell you what, man, it's really telling when I watch that dual meet in every single stoppage, I see Oklahoma State wrestlers looking right over to their coaches. And it's not something you generally see all the time in Division One wrestling. And even during the match, situational wrestling, like should I cut him or should I ride him out? They're looking over, and David Taylor and company has their attention, which just shows the amount of respect they have for him, and it's pretty telling to me.
Okay, first of all, David Taylor, it's pretty safe to say, is just kind of the new and improved Kale Sanderson, right? That's pretty safe assumption. Also, dude, you just reminded me, and I'm glad you did. The Zack Ryder match this past week, I thought this was fascinating. If you paid attention very closely to how David Taylor coached Zack Ryder during that match, Zack Ryder let him up late in the third to only go up two, where a takedown would have lost him the match. Now, typically, dude, you would not coach a wrestler to do that in that situation. But David Taylor is so, you see, he's coaching him for the future. He knows
Yeah,
down the road, dude, Zack Ryder, you're going to have to let someone up and get a takedown late in the third. So he's pushing that. I mean, I loved that coaching decision out of David Taylor late in that match. And you see, to me, that's great coaching, dude. We're not here to win this match right here, right now, dude. We're here to make you better for the end of the season. That coaching of Zack Ryder told me a lot about what David Taylor's doing in that room. Did you notice that?
that's a no, that's a great point. And you know how you hear all these wrestlers saying it's kind of like the cliche thing now. I'm just here to score points. I got to score points. I want to score points. Well, dude, they're really doing it. Half of their wins were technical falls. So 4 out of their 8 wins were tech falls. They're really looking to score points. So when they say it, they mean it. They're not going to sit there and leech on top, and not, if they can't turn someone, they're letting them up, and they're cutting them, and there doesn't matter how much time is left, man. Within reason, they're going to let the guy up and try and take him down, because that's exactly how David Taylor wrestled. And you know what, that's not a bad thing to be mimicking the way David Taylor wrestled in college, because he was one of the best ever, probably the most offensive juggernaut we've ever seen. So yeah, it's impressive. And now I think that, yeah, absolutely. It's with Oklahoma State stock up. They're freshmen. Half the wrestlers in that dual meet were freshmen, and a quarter of them were true freshmen. And that's pretty wild. And Oklahoma
Yeah.
State freshmen went 5-0.
Yeah, Robidow was one who big stock up. We'll talk more about him down the road, but yeah, I really thought the way that David Taylor coaches Zack Ryder during that match probably epitomized the way that David Taylor is coaching that entire program. And also all the ancillary pieces. You see banana people, you see the tailgating dude. He's basically, I think we can sum it up, he's the new and improved Cale Sanderson, folks, officially. Not a wrestler. Almost all the All-Star Classic guys were flat this weekend. Swiderski, Ryder, Cardenas, Garvin, Bastida, Bird, etc.
No, it's true, man. I wrote a little thing on that, actually, like a post on that. It's true. And you look at the 4 guys in that dual meet, it was on a Friday, November 7th, right? So they had the least amount of time. But the 4 wrestlers in that dual meet, Swiderski, Cardenas, Ryder, and um, Garvin, were all not having good matches. I mean, Swiderski looked like he was half dead or just had zero interest in the match. It was very strange. And then Bird only wins 3-0. Um, and then you had even Shaver won 7-5 over a guy that WrestleStat has in the hundreds. And there was a couple more that were just, I was looking at that going, wow, Pinto got majored by Wask, and they're from Navy. Not that he's a bad wrestler, but to get majored, I mean, it's just unusual. And Swiderski's never been. That was the first time he's ever been majored in a match outside of NCAA's.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's an interesting stat there. Wow.
and
Okay. Good.
Cardenas. That was only the third person ever to major Cardenas out of all the matches he's ever had.
Okay, so what
So I
a
mean, this is
very
yeah.
valid point. Great point there. Not a wrestler, dude. He always comes in with some great
Not
comments,
a
but
wrestler is awesome, awesome dude. Always has great points. Very smart person.
knows a lot for not being a wrestler. But all right, folks, let's get to it. Your high demand stock here, Kevin. The graphics up, man. I'll throw it to you. Talk about these guys.
Yeah, Chris Minto. Now, listen, some of these guys are ranked high. These aren't. This isn't a list of like guys that you wouldn't expect it. These are just high stock guys right now. And Chris Minto, that major he had over Wask is looking better and better, especially when Wask majored uh, Pinto. You know, all of a sudden you're like, man. And Minto, I mean, I remember watching him just destroy Julian Ramirez last year at NCAA's, just destroying him. And I was like, whoa, he is someone I'm worried about now for Ruiz. Because when I look at the landscape of that weight class, you know, I think Ruiz can beat uh, Patrick Kennedy. I do. I think he can beat him. I don't see him beating Levi Haynes, but now I'm like, man, Minto is going to be a really, really good match with him. That's a good test. Luke Giage, it came out of nowhere. He was the only one that was able to beat Cornell Gray Shirt, Jude Carrera, at the Clarion Open. Jude Carrera pinned everyone else in the first period, but Giage beat him 10-8, and then Giage won the tournament, beat Rogatsky. Braxton Amos, everyone forgot about him, but then he barely loses to Bastida, and you got to figure he's going to be getting better and better as the year goes on, and maybe reach that potential for the year anyway that he was supposed to when he was in high school. Patty Gallagher, 6-0 early. I know he ended up beating both the Cornell Gray Shirt guys at the Clarion Open, and he looks a lot better than he's been looking anyway. And I think that he's going to have a really promising year. I see he got just 1 second here. Yeah, he beat Sergio from Cornell in the finals, and he's looking solid anyway. Also, like starting out, Josiah Queen. I know a lot of people are not familiar with him, but he's only a sophomore, this guy, and already I've seen him. I think he's wrestled 4 matches. He's 3-1, but he's got wins over Nick Hamilton from Virginia, who is 2 years ago was the ACC MOW. He's got he lost to Danny West, but he's got a win over Miles Tackett's from Bucknell, who's really good. He was on my list to watch, guys. And then Landon Robidoux. I mean, he majors Cardenas,
Yeah.
and that was kind of mind blowing to me. And he looked damn good doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's he's real impressive. What'd you think of that match?
No, I mean Rabideau and Valencia, dude. I was gonna say they're two that stand out to me with, especially these performances this past weekend. But yeah, I mean, what a wild card Rabideau could be this season
Yeah,
at 157. You know, I mean, not really
absolutely.
someone you expected a lot of out of even a couple months ago.
No,
But
no, not at all, man. Caden Cassidy, George Mason has few guys that are actually really good. And this guy's got off to a real hot start. Won a tournament, won the Navy Classic. He's 6-0. Max Stout had probably one of the most impressive wins on the year. Tech falling, returning All American Camden McDaniel from Nebraska in the finals, which kind of was really surprising to me. Uh, Raymond Lopez pins his teammate Lee, who was supposed to be the starter with no problem, but he stuck him. He's got other couple big pins, and then James Conway, man. I watched this guy every one of his matches this year. I went back and watched him. James Conway, for those of you that don't know, he's the one that wrestled Chris Foca first round. Chris Foca's junior year. Chris Foca was up 5-0, and he just did nothing the third period. James Conway got the takedown with 2 seconds left to beat him. This year, he is doing really good. He's got one loss to Jackson Smith. And honestly, watching that match, I think if they wrestle again, I think he can beat him. And he had who did he beat in the semis? It was someone really good. Damn it, I don't remember. But he had a win over the semis. I think this guy's a podium guy, to be honest with you, which is
James
kind of mind blowing.
Conway,
He's with
podium.
Franklin and
Wow.
Marshall.
Okay.
Franklin and Marshall.
Some
Yeah,
deep
I
sleeper
can't
picks,
find it.
folks, in your fantasy league. Save this list. And if you don't, go follow Cornell.
Sorry. He beat Aaron Azirov, who from Colombia, who was the EIWA champion, and he was the he beat Foka 3 times. He beat him 13-4, and he's got two tech falls and a fall. Besides that, he's a beast, man.
I wish we would have known that before last week when we talked to Foka. We could have asked him about that during the interview.
I know.
But all right, folks. Hey,
Probably
some
not.
deep dive research there, dude, by Statman Kevin. But listen, we do have to kind of wrap it up. We got Claw coming up tonight. Well, before let's take a look at the weekend schedule here for this weekend. Mainly your National Duels Invitational here or there. Shout out Bosch with the graphics, man. They're all over the graphics, dude. But there it is, the schedule for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, folks. We're going to try to come back live Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday night, maybe even Sunday night, dude. Who knows? We're in the heat of it in wrestling season. But just in about 15 minutes tonight, we got the Claw semifinal. Folks, Cicadas and the Hammers, dude. They're your matchups. Up on the screen, Ian Parker. And we touched on him tonight, dude. He's in this up against Zane Rutherford, dude. That might be your premier matchup of the night. Anxious to also watch Nate Jackson, Brock Mahler up against Pappas coming up tonight, dude. All at 8 o'clock at clawtotalaccess.com. And Kevin, Super Duel. By the way, folks, Super Duel coming up. Claw Super Duel. This is semifinals tonight. Another one tomorrow night. The Super Duel coming up November 29th, and we're giving away 2 free tickets, okay? BEG is. So I haven't figured out exactly sure how we're going to raffle those off here in the upcoming week or so, but if you're interested in the Pittsburgh area, folks, go to this live, dude. We're going to be live streaming from that. So, Kevin, man, always appreciate all your graphics and hard work. Final thoughts here, folks, before we'll be back Thursday night.
Yeah, let's get some call-ins on Thursday, you guys. Call in, ask some questions, talk wrestling, come up with a topic.
Everyone's so shy. Everyone's shy. All these wrestling fans, dude, strong fingers, but no one will pick up the phone and call. Yeah. It always is very confusing.
For those that hate me, call me up and tell me how much you hate me, whatever, you know?
We're looking for some good content like that, but hey, the link is in the description, so check it out. But hey, dude, the National Duels Invitational, Piles said, did I say this earlier? Piles said something along the lines of the greatest 2 days of duel meets, team duel meets in our history of wrestling, possibly. Right?
They've had this tournament before, you know, but yeah, in a long time anyway. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
when else would we, you know? This is definitely it's going to be fun. It's going to be I like that they're fighting for 3rd place to get prize money that's the same as 2nd. Let's hope everybody wrestles, and I'm excited.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, folks, let's hope everyone wrestles. Coaches, warning the coaches, dude, you'll get blasted by BEG if you bench your wrestlers this weekend. We want to see it. But folks, thank you for all the comments, dude. Thanks for watching. And we'll be back here again in 2 nights. So we'll see you then.
All right.
See ya.